In the 90s, Playmates Toys made the deepest line of Star Trek action figures in history. My name's Keith, and I'm a collector working towards owning all 284. I've been a Trek fan for almost 35 years, and most people are sick of me talking about it. But somehow I've convinced my old friend Mike to review
Mike's
them
25
with me
in that picture.
Look at my Star Trek toys! Wait for the whoosh! It's not cloaked! There it is. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at My Star Trek Toys, a little show where I'm Keith Marney. I discuss Star Trek toys with my buddy Mike and Deglio. That's Mike and Deglio.
It's true.
He got the Enterprise to decloak after last week. It was a little shy, but it's okay.
We're using technology the Federation says we're not supposed to have, Keith.
Yeah, I mean, we're borrowing it from the Romulans. Don't worry about it. We are here with another fantastic customs episode with a new artist. I'm excited to get into it. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Keith. So excited to talk about toys, talk about customs, and that is it. Exclusively just those things. Let's do it.
Okay. And wait, are you saying that the 20-minute discussion we just had between episodes about how to get away with the perfect murder isn't what we're discussing today?
Not for the internet.
I mean, I'm not saying we spent 20 minutes discussing how to get away with murder, but we spent 20 minutes discussing how to get away with murder.
Did I tell you I was recording it? So stay tuned.
You sure did. So it's out there. Hello, Stabler and Benson. All right. So before we get into it, JD, our good friend JD, sent me a really cool thing that is happening, and we want to support people creating toys and action figures, especially small businesses, doing creative and interesting things. So you're going to see it in the link, or I'm going to link it in the show notes below. But he pointed out that there is a new line of action figures. Now it's just on Kickstarter right now. Is it Kickstarter or is it what's the other one?
GoFundMe?
Whatever it is. Yeah, Kickstarter. It's launching on Kickstarter. We have the All-Stars of Science action figures. So these are action figures made of famous scientists from the past, looking really cool. I think we have some of them we can show. Right here is available. You can get a Rosalind Franklin, a Richard Feynman, a Marie Curie, or a James Maxwell action figure, which I think is cool as hell. And any science teacher in America needs to have these on their desk.
We're going to get an Oppenheimer. We're going to get a Newton. We're going to get a Galileo. We're going to get, I got all kinds of ideas if anyone's looking.
See?
Yeah.
We got, I mean, these look fantastic. These are the prototypes, so you can get them. He's going to be launching a Kickstarter soon so that you can get your hands on these. I love it. Any of your kids who are interested in science or history, if you're a science teacher, come on. You know you want to be the cool science teacher with action figures.
Totally.
So
rad. Super rad.
Definitely go check it out. I'll link below in the show notes. So do you have anything cool like that you want us to talk about? Send it to me. I look at my Star Trek toys at gmail.com. While I'm at it, while I'm asking for stuff, we have asked last week, we want more of your lower decks, figures, and customs. Send to look at my Star Trek toys at gmail.com. Also, your cosplay pictures, which will be super fun. As we said last week, make sure that you want it on the internet and anybody else in the picture wants it
I've asked before. I'll ask again. We got Halloween coming up. Let's see your hideous customs gone wrong, malfunction, monstrosities, please.
And, and as we haven't gotten very many of them, I think this is a challenge. Okay? I'm going to say this on the air. It's going to be a challenge to you, Mike, and
to me. Okay.
To us. This is a challenge to us. So for our Halloween episode, coming up in however long it is when this airs, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
I think we can skip being the monstrosity because they will be by definition. You and I need to make a custom Halloween figure out of things we have in the home. We cannot go and purchase other things. We have to make our own action figure out of stuff lying around in the house.
Does that include action figures we currently have? Because that does. Do you even want to go into that? Do you want to mutilate your action figures?
No. I think you're right. It has to be non-action figure things. you have around your house that we have to create.
Do they have to be
figures.
Star Trek action figures, or no? This is just it's just any action figure.
The hook is monstrosity, which will be guaranteed regardless of what we attempt to do. It will be
things that are not already action figures.
That are not already action figures to create
customed into a Halloween action figure character.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fun episode.
It can be Star Trek. It can be anything.
Yes, and that will air with the monstrosity customs. Whomever sends any.
Yes.
We'll make it one Halloween episode. Okay, great.
All right. That's all right. I just came up with that on the fly. So I'm already thinking, like, what do I have in the basement here I can use? That's going to be fun. So we will definitely take pictures and show our work. And we got to shoot them on the turntable and give them the full. Whatever.
Awesome. Cool.
Horror.
Keith texts me, oh man, toys take so much prep. And now I got to build something.
Yeah, but it's different.
Yeah, you're right. Different is good. Different is good.
It's different. We like different. All right. Well, speaking of different, we have
well done.
We have a new artist who reached out working with a slightly different medium.
Nice.
So it is not based on the Playmates scale. It's still Star Trek figures, but these are based on the Diamond Select line or the Art Asylum line in the 6 to 7 inch scale. So he's done a bunch of them, and I asked him, like, tell me more about all these things. He says, sure, they're made out of Diamond Select Toys, Art Asylum figures, 6 to 7 inch figures, like I said, with custom heads, some swapped from other figures and lines with model paint, and I also use Gundam markers I use for the kits. So some of these are so, I literally had to, like, wait, are these customs or are you just showing me your figures? No, these are customs. So coming up first from James Stormer. You can also find on Facebook and a lot of the custom figures there.
What?
So this is Picard on the holodeck in First Contact, where we have this scene in First Contact. Look how flawless that figure is. And I looked up, are there any Star Trek figures in tuxedos or whatever? Not that I can find. I don't know what the basis
but that's
of that is.
That's the Diamond Select head of Picard?
It's either the Diamond Select or the Art Asylum, something like that. Okay. Swapped out. So I think there must be some other figure, that maybe a James Bond figure that has that, or I don't know. But it's so cool, and it's a really fun. I guess it was a little more scary than fun, but a really cool part of First Contact, one of the best next gen movies.
Damn, that's
where you
cool. I'm fascinated by that.
Yeah, so it's sort of, they hop into the Dixon Hill world and is able to get a machine gun to fight off the Borg. Really cool, very creative stuff. So what a great figure.
Yeah, that is absolutely like 3D scanned face of Patrick Stewart. That is great news.
Yeah. Well, and there's some interesting things when you're working with these other toy lines, because the Diamond Select Art Asylum, they're larger scale. They're also working with a much higher budget and a much lower run of them. So you have some challenges and some advantages, because the figures, obviously, they're bigger, they're more expensive, they're more realistic, they're going to be higher, I'm trying to think of the right word, but they're more expensive style figures than Playmates, which are mass produced. But that also means that the seams are a lot easier to see.
Yeah.
It is more challenging to get it to look perfect and realistic. So let's see another one, shall we?
That was really cool. Sorry. We absolutely, Keith, can't wait to show you. Here we go. Whoa.
So there's another angle of Picard there, looking fantastic in that scale. That's a really cool suit. I don't know what the customization was there beyond the head. I don't know, but it looks freaking cool, and it definitely represents that. What's next?
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at the figure here. It's so cool.
Okay, so now we have a Savik figure from Star Trek 3. Now, of course, this is the Robin Curtis version, because we had a cast change because Kirstie Alley wanted too much money to come back after Wrath of Khan. She was about to do Cheers and then go crazy. So, got interesting.
She's
So
so good in
this,
Look Who's Talking, though.
oh sure, yeah. Anyway, so this is the use. James said the head is, I believe, a 3D sculpt by David Turner, and then the body is a Diamond Select, an Art Asylum modified and painted. So it's really, really cool. So this is obviously their away team coat
Hmm.
with a custom head on it. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And really, God, that trilogy of Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 was just fantastic. Have you seen 2, 3, and 4?
I've seen, I know that I've seen all the films at some point, but I have no, because I wasn't in the kind of the universe of it. None of it has stuck, so I really do have to go back.
Yeah, well, because it is interesting that the first one was its own thing,
Mhm.
and then they did a continuing story for a full trilogy of the Star Trek movies, which was really fun. I think very successful. But anyway, to have a Savick there in that scale looks fantastic. David Turner did an amazing job on that
That's
head.
a great head. Yeah.
Uh, Truly fantastic work. Let's see. We go from fantastic work to Fantastic Wharf.
Oof.
So we have a Picard era Wharf. So this is another one with the customing. I don't know if this is also a David Turner head.
That's a
But
great
either
head.
way, here we have a contemporary, meaning Picard era Worf here, adapted. I think this is still just a work in progress. I don't know what else needs to be done. But with Worf as we see him on Picard, which Mike, by the way, is not allowed to watch
I've been
because of
banned
Deep
from
Space
season
Nine
3.
spoilers.
Yeah.
You've been banned from season 3. But look how cool that is.
It's really cool. I'm sorry, I'm a little quiet because I'm just taking it in. I'm really fascinated. I mentioned last week by 3D scans right now and 3D prints. So like and not just the custom work here, not just the custom head or whatever, but even the Diamond Select scan or whatever line the body is, still like the detail is just insane. Look, like in the costuming, the ripples. There's texture. Well, I mean, I guess his sash actually is texture there. I wonder if that was added or.
The baldric, I think, is added. I don't,
But
I
even
wonder.
the red material being used as that sash there is like fashioned.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I think that I wonder if the baldric itself is from another Art Asylum or Diamond Select, or it's taken from the 6-inch Playmates figure, because one of the 6-inch Playmates had a detachable baldric and one of them did not. And I wonder if it's that. I don't know.
Cool.
Every time, like, I always ask questions, but then I have like 10,000 more questions before I do any of these things. So anyway, continue to be fantastic work. Welcome to the show, James Stormer. We're very happy
Yeah, you
to
don't.
have you
That's the
here.
other thing. You don't have to create the pieces yourself, right? Even just being a project manager of like deciding what pieces from what thing, is.
Well, but yeah,
and then the
James did a
assembly,
fair amount
obviously.
of customization on this with the paint and all that kind of stuff. So it's
All right.
really fantastic work. We will definitely keep showing more of your stuff. I've seen more of it. It's amazing. And we have another one here from CRM Customs. But Mike, now here we are as a Deep Space Nine expert. Tell me all about this figure.
Shakar, Keith, is a Bajoran sort of war hero, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he works closely with Kira, very closely, is the kind of vibes I was getting, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sent down to like ask him for some farm equipment for the better of Bajoran, but it turns out to be just a Kaiwin sloop-de-doop. So at the end of the day,
how would one define a sloop-de-doop?
well, Keith, it's when you sloop in under false pretenses to under the greater good, but it turns out you're just power hungry. You know what I mean? That's what it turns. That's a sloop-de-doop. So that's all I have to say about Shakar.
And let's talk about this figure, though. Yeah. Once again, it's all 3D modeled, all 3D rendered. The texture in the fabric is stunning. You've got the Bajoran earring and the nose. I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of stupid to keep talking about Chris's work because you run out of adjectives. All right. Well, we're going to finish with another reference to some Deep Space Nine, and that is from our, of course, good friend JD. Oh, here's another image of the of Shakar there with Kira. And this is where it's like it's so cool what he does with these figures, how well they fit in with the original line.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're both so specifically Chris, but also match the line. And here you can really see the detail in the hair. Man, that's good. Just stupid. That's the kind of hair I wish I had. All right, so we are going to finish with some
Everybody needs
Space
a Bolian.
Nine era Bolians. Mike, tell us what you know about Deep Space Nine Bolians.
Keith, they're a little bit scaredy cat.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the one on the show got blown away. So there you go. Not on Deep Space Nine, on Stranger's show, though. He got blown away.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the Bolians, they tend to have a lot of feelings, and they don't have a great survival rate on Star Trek, is what I understand there. But I think what JD's done here with the physical sculpt and also that paint.
Yeah, paint's really good.
I bet that paint's expensive because it is such a specific hue. And to get here's another question for JD and other customizers. Because you talk about all the various different styles that people do. Some people do matte, some people do gloss, some people do 3D, some people do hand sculpted. In order to get the gloss to the paint here to match the rest of the figure, because JD gets it right in line with exactly.
Yeah, do you think they do a second gloss coat?
Is it a second coat? That's my question. Do you have to seal it with something glossy, or does the paint itself have that level of gloss? I don't know. I'd like to know. I bet you JD's going to tell us about it sometime. But look how cool they are. And again, talked about last week about the depth of JD's line, because these are sort of generic Bolians he has just to fill out the ship. I think he not
when
only
you get
has
to the point where you're building
you
extras. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're building the background actors. It's really because you've done every possible conceivable character you could ever imagine. God, that's impressive.
It's awesome.
Anyway, more fantastic work from you guys. Next week, we're going to be opening some stuff. We have some surprises coming, so you're going to see our surprised faces. We don't really know what's coming. We just know stuff is coming, even though by the time you see it, it will have happened weeks ago for us.
It's the magic of it, Keith. It's the magic of it.
The magic of the internet. But thank you so much for spending some time with us and our amazing customizers here. If you would like to join the ranks of these fantastic customizers, you can email us at lookatmystartrektoys@gmail.com. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts about it. Send us your cosplay pictures. Send us your Lower Decks figures. Send us all of your figures, whatever you got. Mike's got questions about 3D sculpting.
Educate us.
We've got work to do. We're about to go create some horrible custom figures ourselves. That's going to be exciting because guess what? We're not good at this.
No.
So,
Keith, I think I have some. Forget it. I can't wait to go through.
What do you have, Mike?
I was going to say I have some horror action figure guys from Christmas, but with that we already established the rules. We can't use that stuff. So.
No, we have to start fresh. It's gonna be pretty fun. All right. Thank you to our patrons. You can join them at patreon.com/KNM and join these fantastic people who are supporting all of our shows and getting all sorts of cool bonus nonsense, extra episodes. We're chatting up there. Really, really fun. We will see you back here with another episode of Look at My Star Trek Toys.